Well, hello, and it's a good evening. This is kind of a following on because something I've just seen on social media. I was actually horrified, and I was totally justified in the making of my video. You know, the one about the dangerous dogs. Let's talk about it. Was the first video that I've done. Please bear with me. I've not done anything to this magnitude before where I'm filming and going through news reports, but I've just noticed this in the Daily Express. So dog walker mauled to death by a own American bully XL. While walking other pets. So there was an incident. If you've not seen my video, there's been an incident on my street. Someone lives down my street, has one of these bully XL dogs. They're a very dangerous dog breed. It's impaled I've gone over the fence and ran down the street and attacked a little Shih Tzu called Lily, who's had to have loads of stitches and stuff. It's cost loads in vet bills. So it's like an unnecessary and unprovoked attack. So my queries, my worries are completely set in stone. So I'm not making any of this up. So the people who've tried making me feel bad and trying to threaten, intimidate me, like it hasn't worked. You're just trying to deny the inevitable. It's like you're at fault and you can't shift the blame. So this poor girl, young woman, suffered catastrophic injuries from multiple penetrating dog bites in an incident that took place in Surrey. So this is in the UK. Natasha Johnston. So a young woman was mauled to death while walking a pack of dogs. It is believed to have killed by her own pet, dog walker Natasha Johnston, 28 years old. That poor girl. May her soul rest in peace. Suffered catastrophic injuries from multiple penetrating dog bites. I had a jugular vein perforated in a fatal incident in Gravel near Caterham, Surrey on January the 12th. So it was early in the year. For some reason it's come out, probably algorithms, cookies and that. I don't really accept cookies, but this is another thing entirely. So I've been on about this type of breed all day for the last 2-3 days, getting into slanging matches that I don't want to, but like, poor girl. Armed officers and a police helicopter rushed to the area after receiving reports of a dog attack. Witnesses claimed at the time the woman was paid to walk, so they want her own dogs. She was a dog walker, turned like wolves. 8 dogs were seized from the beauty spot, but only Miss Johnston's pet, believed to be, so she was the owner, believed to be an American Bully XL breed, has been destroyed by police. So obviously they've executed the dog. It's not just the London dogs, you know. Please consider this. It is, if there's a post to safety, like dangerous situations, this is the law. This is what needs to be carried out. I didn't make up the rules. So if I'm stating something, it's because it's goddamn obvious, you know. Surrey police continue to hold 5 other dogs after forensic veterinary report was carried out. January. 2 seized dachshunds, so that's like a sausage dog, I think. Returned to the owner last month. The force also said, a Surrey police spokesman said, we have now received forensic veterinary report, and this has been shared with the Surrey coroner. Blah, blah, blah. Look at all these adverts. So that's just one incident, and this is coming today. 6:30, so 8 o'clock updated. So it's within 2.5 hours, but it's got today's date on Wednesday, the 17th of May. So obviously the coroner's, there's been updates since January, since this tragic incident occurred. Oh, it's so unnecessary. It's like these dogs, people having these dogs because they think they're being cool or whatever. They're actually posing a great, huge, significant danger to the general public. And this was their own dog. And you're telling me these dogs are friendly? Get the hell out of here. There we go. Here, another one. Son. Dog attack. No, I'm not accepting cookies. Reject all. Man died when his 52 kilogram XL bully. That's like it weighs as much as a person, if not more. Crushed his voice box in horror attack after beast bought from travellers on Snapchat. This is again this year. A man died from catastrophic neck injuries after being mauled by a 52 kilogram XL bully dog that had been bought from travellers on Snapchat, an inquest heard. Ian Symes, 34, who was known to his friends as Wiggy, died at a recreation ground in Fareham, Hampshire, after the savage attack on August 10th last year. So it was end of last summer. Probably another coroner's report. Was it inquiry? Yeah, inquiry. Portsmouth Coroner's Court heard that Ian had been walking the beast, named Kong, which belonged to his neighbour Callum Jones, before it set upon him. He suffered widespread mangling to his neck after the bite punctured his jugular vein and crushed his voice box, the inquest heard. It is inquest. I said nearly Mr. Basil Fawlty then, but sorry, Fawlty Towers. Dr. Basil Perdue, a Home Office pathologist who carried out the post-mortem, said the cause of death was clearly a result of overwhelming neck injuries in keeping with affliction by a large and powerful dog. The unfortunate victim, who weighed less than a dog, in question, was found unresponsive by cops who rushed to the scene after the attack was reported by a passerby. Bless him. He had apparently grown up owning Rottweilers and had a good knowledge of large dogs. How unfortunate. However, even Jones had apparently been surprised by how large Kong was after buying him from a traveller group for £650 after seeing an advert on Snapchat. So obviously Snapchat is a hotbed for selling dangerous dogs. Kong, who has been since destroyed, so again executed by the police, had been kept in kennels on the traveller site and was dehydrated and being toileted on a balcony before being sold. Jones told the court that he took the dog for a walk and then handed him over to Ian, advising him not to try and walk Kong alone while he went to stay with his girlfriend. He said of Kong, the whole way he was just pulling. That's strength for that boy. We had hold of his collar and his lead, but even when he struggled to walk him, so we decided to take him back. He was just literally strong. The court also heard chilling evidence from dog behaviour expert Dr. Candy Dessar, who detailed Kong's immense size. I wonder if I could get in touch with this Dr. Candy Dessar and see if they'd do some form of podcast. That'd be cool, don't you think? So there he is there, like a young gentleman, a father and stuff. Like, he's never going to see his kids again. His kids are never going to see him again. Wow, look at that for a specimen. These are like built for fighting bulls and stuff, not to be kept in your back garden all day. And they should most definitely be muzzled, like harnessed by someone who's who can handle the power and the strength, which like 80% of people can't. Yeah, so he was killed by an American XL bully that weighed more than he did. He weighed a whopping 52 kilograms, which is over 8 stone, and would have been at face height while standing on his hind legs. See, I've seen one, they're as big as some people. So, Dr. Desart added, during my own assessment, Kong was very easily over-aroused by toys and by play, and that arousal quickly became aggressive. Well, I do know some people would probably get over-aroused by toys and by play, but that's another thing. Obviously, during my assessment, it was done with the expert handling, and we were able to stop that aggression from escalating. That's very similar to what happened down the street. But thank God, nothing, like, obviously something serious did happen, but it could have been fatal. There was two little girls standing there, could have quite easily turned on them as well, and you'd hate to think of that outcome. I'm so glad that it was my daughter's cousins. She referred to it as a super breed with an extreme bite force and said, I believe that Mr. Sims was having a rough play with Kong. Kong became over-aroused and quickly became aggressive. If the dog has not been trained to stop, it won't stop. So if you're training a dog that's already past them few vital months, it's increasingly difficult to train a dog. It's best to catch them from birth, from like being a pup, not long after birth, so you can train them up yourself, so they know you've got your voice on command, like through the good times and the bad times. They'll understand certain orders and objectives, but like when they come to a certain age, they're in charge. Like, I don't care what you say, like, you're not the dog whisperer. So I think Mr. Symes fell down quickly, which would have increased its predatory drive. This is like reading some like in the Daily Storm or something. Not that I read that sort of filth. The expert added that the kennels Kong had been kept in were not suitable, explaining that such breeds need highly specialised owners. American XL Bullies are a newer breed first recognised by the US United Kennel Club in 2013. They are known for their size and strength as a natural extension of the American Pit Bull Terrier. So, like, when I'm saying it is American Pit Bull, I am basically right. They've just genetically modified these by breeding. Now they're like size of a lion, a little baby lion. XL refers to the dog size category, which are four. They are four: Pocket, Standard, Classic, and XL. So XL's the biggest ones. It is rare for them to attack humans, but cases have been on the rise as the most powerful animal is more than capable of killing. New figures show that incidences of dog attacks rose by 34%, so we're on the up, and I guarantee we're on the up already this year. Between 2001 and 2021, there was an average of 3.3 dog-related deaths each year, but in 2012 that shot up to 10. A number of high-profile cases have involved XL bullies, such as Shirley Patrick, who died after being mauled at her home. Caerphilly, Wales. Caerphilly. I'm not familiar with my Welsh accent. Despite this, the breed isn't illegal in the UK and remains unrestricted by the 1991 Dangerous Dogs Act. Well, what I've seen, witnessed, what I'm reading now, like, obviously there's something wrong with this breed of dogs. If it's just going to be more tragic and more tragedies and more executions by the police, and who gets the fault for it? Like me for reporting on such incidences, or the police trying to keep people safe? Like, there's enough evidence that I'm going to go through tonight to say you was right, Michael. I'm very sorry, but that apology got left in the post. Lost in the post. So coroner Sarah Whitby returned a narrative conclusion saying Ian was familiar with dogs but not an expert dog carer. The dog weighed 52 kilograms and was kennel socialised only. So this is no life for a dog. Keeping it in a cage all the time, you're going to get it's imprisoned. Like, I don't think humans take too kindly to be locked up 24/7 in a cage, do you know? The dog weighed 52 kilograms and was kennel socialised only. This breed is controversial due to its genetic makeup. I hate to say it, guys, I'm right. The dog's characteristics were unknown to the new owner due to the short time he'd been in his care, but he could not hold him on a lead. Kong had not been exercised and it was a hot day. There's still no excuses. You can justify all the excuses under the sun. Mr. Symes engaged in some play with Kong, who responded with default behaviour aggression. Wow. So there's one there. It mentioned about a Shirley as well. Shirley Patrick. Look, hellish attack. Block. Reject all. Hellish attack. My mum was unrecognisable after a fatal mauling in the UK attack capital. It's always the same breed. They must be banned. 15th of March this year as well. Staring at young photographs of her beloved mum, Gail Jones feels numb as she struggles to come to terms with her harrowing fate. It has been 3 months since Shirley Patrick, 83, died after being mauled in a hellish violent attack. Mauled in a hellish violent dog attack. Gail Jones feels numb after her mum Gail Jones died following a dog attack. Bless her. The Welsh pensioner passed away from sepsis following the incident inside a home of 60 years in Penrhyn, I don't know, Caerphilly, an area dubbed the UK's dog bite capital. She's the 10th person to die from a dog-related attack in 2022, up from the average of 3 per year. In England, Wales, dog attacks have risen 34%, as it stated previously, in the last 5 years, with police recording 22,000 in 2022, compared with 16,000 in 2018. So in my video, obviously I said there's a population boom in the world. There's loads more people than there's ever been before, or for a very long time. So obviously more people, more dogs, more dangerous breeds of dogs. Totally justified. Gail, 63, laid mum Shirley to rest by burying her ashes along with those of her husband Dennis earlier this month, and admits she still struggles to process what happened. She tells the Sun, I can't even begin to imagine what she must have gone through. I don't want to think of all the pain she suffered. Her injuries were horrific. She lost the tip of her nose and all of her top lip, and the middle of her face was completely gone. There was just a stub left, like a skeleton. She lost an eye, lost an ear, had huge chunks out of her head, and at the back of her skull, around her neck. That was all down to the bone. Shirley passed away on December the 20th from pneumonia and sepsis, 17 days into hospital battle to treat her horrific life-changing injuries. So 5 days before Christmas. Bless her. Gail believes the mum could have lived for another 10 years. So she looked in good health there, poor Gail. Or is it Shirley, sorry. Shirley had dementia and unfortunately forgot the attack within minutes. The great-great-grandmother, who underwent 18 operations while in medically induced coma, was unaware of the true scale of the horror that happened to her due to suffering from dementia. Gail says when she came out of the coma, she opened her eyes and said, "Hi Gail, love you babes." She was heavily sedated with painkillers and didn't say a lot. The only thing that's kept me sane is that because of her dementia, her short-term memory was bad. She had forgotten what happened to her within minutes. Still not. That's not good. The only thing that's kept me sane is that because of her dementia, her short-term memory was bad. She had forgotten what happened to her within minutes. I was told that's what kept her alive for so long. I don't think that is true. I think the shock's probably just some excruciating mind fuckery, innit? I was told that what kept her alive so long, as they say, is if she knew she would have died from shock. She didn't know the extent of her wounds. Even when they were preparing to take her down to theatre, she thought she was going to see a show. She didn't remember what had happened. 2 death streets away. After Shirley's attack on December the 3rd, Gwent police seized and destroyed the dog, an American Bully XL Cane Corso Cross. They arrested 4 people on suspicion of being charged with a dog dangerously out of control, causing injury, and were released under conditional bail. Gwent police told us that 17 dogs had been seized in Caerphilly South so far this year on suspicion of being illegal breeds. 9 have been released to their owners and the rest are under investigation. Shirley's death happened just over a year after another tragedy just 2 streets away, and for some fear the area is a hotspot for dangerous dogs. In November 2021, Jack Lease, 10, was mauled to death by an American Bully XL called Beast at a friend's home. Oh, look at that poor lad. It's making me upset, this. I don't know if I can read that. I can't get into that. So just Google Bully XL attacks and I think I'm going to have to end it there. Just hope you can understand everything.